Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator, and welcome to Price, Utah in the Utah DLC. This is out to the east. I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing out here momentarily, but you can see we have a delivery of packages to make to Ogden. Those are awfully big packages, particularly that red one. You could probably fit a smart car in there. I don't know what people are getting for the holidays this year, but it's big, whatever it is. We are still in our Lone Star. Through some holiday paint on that as well. Hop right in here. Lights is on. Brakes is off. We only got a couple 100 miles to go. Not too long an episode tonight. And we will be driving at night. Did that because of the lights on the trailer. So what is going on? Man, it's been a year. I typically get to say it's been a week. Now I can say it's been a year, man. It has been a year. We are winding down. Sad to see it go, as I always am. Happy to see it go, as I always am. Let's get out of here.
Turn right.
John Law, working nights, working overnight, keeping an eye on the good people of Price, Utah. Bet he is. Right. And then right here. Yep. So I'm glad there were drops when there were. I feel like there were a lot of drops early December. More than I expected. A lot more than I expected. But I'm sort of glad that it worked out the way it did, because I'm not chasing the dragon when I'm getting this new system put together. I'm just downloading, with Steam. Man, with Steam, it's so easy. It really is. And then being able to get that backup done on my gaming laptop right before it started having problems. All my mods, everything, save games. It was really, really seamless. It has been really seamless. But I'm glad that all this new content was sort of already in the mix, in the pipeline. There's been, I'm trying to think, since I got the tower last week. A Set a Corsa Competizione, I think, would be the only one. They had a kind of a big update. And we've got liveries now, although no liveries in career mode, which is baffling to me. You can use them in multiplayer, you can use them in spot races, but not in career mode. And I wanted to confirm this. I didn't see it anywhere, and I saw, they kept talking about where the skins could be used. Well, I say skins, they're not really skins, they're liveries, because you build them yourself in the game. But I saw where they were saying they could be used, and I was curious, like, okay, well, where can they not be used? And I suspected it was career mode, because they had other, right? They specifically mention MP. They specifically mention spot races and pickup races, but they don't mention, you know what I mean? This is problematic. I can tell. And to start a career, no matter how many times you've started a career, if you want to start a career in a Set a Corsa Competizione, you have to go through the 3 tests at Monza. There's no way to test out of them. There's no way to skip out of them. You can't, you know what I mean? You have to do those 3 tests. It's kind of a pain in the ass. And it seems like a bit of a glaring oversight on the part of Kunos, but what can you do? Anyway, I deleted my career. I did the 3 tests. Getting better and better at them, because I've done them so many times. And sure enough, you cannot pick your livery. Now, the nice thing is I raced the AMG in a Set a Corsa Competizione, and previously it was gray. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. Previously it was red, which makes no sense for an AMG. It just really doesn't. And now it does put you in kind of a dark gray, silver gray. Makes a lot more sense. It fits. So that is, what do we got going on here? Gridlock. Oh, God. Oh, why? Why, AI? Alright, we'll get through here. Okay, and then he gets sick of waiting. Sir, and or ma'am, it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. So, not a big deal. And I didn't really lose anything, because I wasn't that deep into my career anyway. But just to confirm, if you do have ACC and you were curious, at least on my game, it does not let you pick your own livery in career mode. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Right, and I'm trying to think what else. Not really a lot. Not really a lot. Nothing. Nothing. No. Oh, that's cool. Little train going by out there in the darkness. Oh, it's a passenger train too. That's cool. Mostly freight trains in the truck sim. And what else? Yeah, nothing. End of the year, end of the month, end of the week. I'm recording this a day early. I'm going to be traveling the next few days, so I want to record this one a little bit early, and then the next one, which will be ETS on, it should be on Monday. It's supposed to be on Monday. Could be a little bit late. Everything will be in the proper order. We just may jump ahead one day and then push the other back one day. I'll get you taken care of. I'll try to. And yeah. What else? Man, it's so nice. I don't know if you do this. I do this. Like with mods, you download a mod for a sim, right? And then it's not what you thought it would be. It's not everything you hoped. It happens. And you uninstall it, but you don't delete it from your mod folder. And then at some point, not too distant in the future, you look in your mod folder and it's like, how do I have 1,100 mods? What is happening? And it's hard to go through and sort them all out because you know how mods are. Sometimes the names aren't what they're supposed to be, or somebody has done a little edit of a mod and kept the same name, so you have two of the same name, and it's just a mess. So unless I delete things straight away, that tends to happen to me. Well, the same thing happens with small apps, utilities. You know, you want to edit a video or make a GIF or something, so you download a utility, and your intent is to uninstall it straight away. But you don't always do that. And if enough time goes by, when you do go into add remove apps, it's kind of hard to like, do I use this one? Do I want to get rid of this? It's a little tricky. And you end up with clutter. So the best thing I think about a new system, other than the fact that it's a new system and it can do things that the previous one could not, but I think the best thing about a new system is it's clean. It's clean. And then as soon as I got this up and running, the new tower, I went ahead and did a birthday disc on the gaming laptop. So that one is all clean now too. Everything is clean and uncluttered. It's a very cool feeling. You know, with SSD, it's not quite the same as spinners. You know, we don't really need to defrag the way we used to. SSDs tend to be more, they maintain themselves a lot better. And with the read-write speeds, it's, I think, a lot quicker for an SSD to put things where they need to be. And there's also no physical, you know, you don't have that read-write head and spinning platters and everything. And that, there were some, even though they seemed kind of minuscule, there were gains to be made by having data in specific places on the spinning disks. And you don't have any of that anymore with SSD. So it's not, clutter doesn't hold you back the way it used to, but still just the idea of it. So everything is good to go there. And I'm trying to think what else. You know, something, this is a problem that well, it's not really a problem, that overstates it. Let me find a good gear here. There's one. This is something that I never thought I'd have to deal with. Never thought I'd have to like think about. When you have a system, my previous system it was all right. It was good, not great. Certainly not, you know, not one of those systems. Those, you know what I mean? Legendary. Nothing like that. Carefully. A lot of traffic here.
Go straight on.
There we are. It was all right. But until you can run a game on Ultra, you can't really know how well that game is optimized. Does that make sense? I think it does. There's several YouTube channels, there's several websites that do a lot of testing of games on ultimate systems. And they'll tell you, you know, even on this, right, like absolute rocket ship of a gaming system, this game's not well optimized. It doesn't play well. That was never an issue for me because I didn't have that kind of system. And now that I do, it's interesting that, you know, this game, you can push it out to Ultra. That game, you can push it out to Ultra. Ultra, Ultra, Ultra. And then you fire up something else, and it's like, oh, God, that doesn't seem good at all. What's the problem there? And you take a look online, and sure enough, yeah, that game is not well optimized. So I feel like, I don't know. It's like when they talk about different encoding on music sites, Spotify, iTunes, etc., and how some artists are really reluctant to have their music released on those platforms depending on the sound quality. And you think, wow, I mean, can you really notice? And I've got my gaming headset is, by comparison, I mean, it's like so many things in my world. Good, not great. But I do have some great things in my world. And I really like audio. I really like music. And I have a really nice set of Sennheiser audio headphones for listening to music. So I guess where I'm at with having a better system now and being able to realize that some games are not very well optimized is, if you were to listen to Spotify through a gaming headset, you know, that sounds fine. But then you throw on a reference headset and it's like, ooh, that doesn't sound quite as good. And I'm not going to get into the whole, vinyl versus CD versus MP3 argument. I don't mean it like that. But I guess what I'm saying is, if your technology prevents you from seeing like the true capacity of something that an artist has created, then you don't know the difference. But when you sort of take the restrictor off your system, and now you can see exactly what it is that they did. You can see exactly what it is that they did. It's like the first little while we had 4K TVs. And if you were watching like a show that was new at the time, but not everybody had 4K TVs, so they weren't really worried about producing specifically for 4K TVs, the makeup that people were wearing made them look like monsters, because it was not built for 4K. It was not built for that kind of resolution. And now everything, the cameras have all switched over. We're headed toward 8K pretty rapidly. And TV and movies are doing things differently because they know we're going to be watching them on at least 4K, sometimes 8K, right? But for a little while, it was like, this doesn't, you know what I mean? We gotta disconnect. And I feel like that's where I am right now. Not with all games. A lot of the games that I have play just fine. But there's a couple that, like, this doesn't seem right. And you do a little research, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't seem right because it's not right. That game's busted. So, more money, more problems. No complaints, though. And I'm super, super happy. I'm also, first thing I did was I switched everything over to M2 and SSD. There already was M2. The OS was on an M2, but I bumped that up to one of my Samsung Evo M2s, double the capacity, and then I swapped out the spinner that was in there for 2 terabyte SSD Samsung, and added a second Samsung. So I'm feeling really good about feeling really good about the more modular aspect of things, and I am already eyeballing graphics cards. I know the price is going to be super, super low right after Christmas, so I may just pull the trigger on that. And at that point, I think I need to be honest about the fact that I got basically a chassis. I got a case with a good motherboard and a really good CPU, and the reason the price was so good is because some of the other specs were down a little bit. Did I say that right? Some of the other stuff was down spec. Yeah, it's a better way to say it. And that's why I got such a smoking deal. But then I'm immediately going to turn around and just take it right back to the system that I wanted but didn't get because I was looking to save a few bucks. Oh, ill will. But in fairness, when you do it that way, you get exactly what you want. So had I bought what was available on the high end, you know what I mean? Fewer choices. But by doing it this way, something like even the Samsung drives, I know that I'm just being a fanboy at that point. Are they really that different? Are they? I don't think they are. But I just like Samsung products. I've always had good luck with them. They've always treated me well. So I went ahead and got Samsung M2 and SSD. And that would not have happened if I had bought the up-spec version of the same system. And the same with the graphics card. I would prefer... Oh, breaking. I would prefer EVGA, and that's not what I would have got. So we'll see what the prices look like. Now, and there's the B stock as well. I don't know if you know EVGA. I don't know if you're looking for a graphics card at the moment. And they don't really... It's kind of... I wouldn't say it's hard to find. It's not easy to find on their website. But if you prowl around a little bit, you can find their B stock. And it's pretty good prices. It's between like 30 and 50% off. And most of it does have a warranty, I want to say. Yeah. Oh, those lights look fantastic. Love it. I'm so happy. I really am. It's been a good year for me. Not the best. Not the best year I've ever had, but pretty good. Nothing to complain about. Through here, and I think, yeah, we're just about there. We picked up at Walmart, and I suspect we're going to drop off at Walmart as well. Now, if I do 9 more of these, I personally get a stocking to hang as my dangle. And I feel like I've done enough of these. I did one for Michelin. I did one for Goodyear. I did one for logging. Yeah, I got a little chainsaw. Swinging wide. Swinging wide. So I may or may not do another 9. I don't even know if I'll have time, because I don't know how long this lasts. They're always time limited. So we'll see. And then the community gets an award as well. I think I said that already. I may not have. Either way, the community gets an award if we do something. Oh! I saw that light, but you know what I mean? Like, it was right there, and I was going slow. I saw it, and yet somehow I didn't see it. I saw it. All right. I think it's because I was looking for my turn. And that is right here. Yep, it is. Okay. So we'll head in here. Is this right? Yep, this is right. Okay. And what else? We are still in our International Lone Star. And this will probably be our last trip. You know, it's a nice truck. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not a fan of that retro look. I like things that are really old and things that are really new. I don't like things that are new that are trying to look old. And when I look at that big chrome grille, you know, I'm sure it's very aerodynamic. I mean, in this day and age, I don't think you could sell a commercial vehicle that was not fuel efficient. So I assume that that is a retro look, but that it was all wind tunnel designed and computer CAD CAM, you know, wind tunnel tested. I'm sure it's very slippery in the wind. I just don't like the look of it. I did, however, get the drivetrain revision pack for this truck and put in a bigger engine and upgraded the transmission, even though we're never going to drive it again, right? Because that's what you do when you have too much money in a video game. This looks like, this actually looks like a Walmart warehouse. Let me see what happens when we get around the corner here. I can't even see where we're supposed to turn. Oh, yeah, this is like a freight district. I'm seeing some railroad tracks. Yeah. All right. So, yep, drivetrain revision. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Which is perfect, because we're here. Here. And there we are. Yeah, this looks like a warehouse. Certainly not a retail store. Oh, that's nice. Beautiful. Now, where's our job? It's got to be right over here somewhere. There it is. You know, something that I'm really liking about the newer DLC, or at least what seemed to be the newer DLC. Oh, that's tricky. Between a... Yeah. I think it's going to be easier to go in from the blind side. Yeah. So let's get down to a good gear here. I think it's easier from the blind side because that little forklift is actually like further in. You know what I mean? So we wouldn't have to cut it quite as far. I think. Can we... Oh, not quite. Not quite. Alright. So we'll get this over here first. And then we'll try to get lined up. Oh man. This is not an easy drop off. But what I was talking about was the newer content for both ETS and ATS seems to have a lot more complexity to it, you know? And I really do appreciate that. Like this big industrial area that we came back to. You know, there's a feeling that you get in a video game, or at least that I do. You know, sometimes it feels like the developers are really like at their limit and just trying to cram in every possible thing, you know? And then other times games seem a little bit more effortless, maybe? Unhurried, unforced. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's like multiple endings in a game. And developers have to know that not everybody's going to get to every ending. And in a way, that content is then maybe not wasted, but the developer has gone to the effort of creating that content, and some people aren't even going to see it. And I think for a developer, there's a temptation to say, like, you know, we have this technology or we have this whatever, right? We want to use all of it. And it's like they're almost, maybe not forcing, but they're almost expecting us to experience every single part of the game. And when I see a big open area like this, there's something about... not wasted space, that's not the right word. Like an accurate depiction of an open area in a video game. I feel like too many developers have George Lucas syndrome, and they just need to like stuff as much crap as they can into every possible square inch of their game to give you the feeling that, like, look, we made the most of it. Parking light's on, engine is off. All right. Let's unload. And when I see a big open space like this, I feel like this developer has done the opposite of that. Does that make sense? Did any of that make sense? I think it might have. Maybe not, though. All right. And, oh, hey, we level up. But we don't, we're already maxed out, so we don't get anything. There you go. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of American Truck Simulator. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.